and Margrét, Ragnheiður Stefansdottir and Margrét Guttormsdottir, they are graduating from the Art University of Iceland, and they were actually my former students at the Radio School of Visual Arts from the textile department, and started to collaborate on projects, textile projects together. And they have been collaborating on and off ever since. And but they are doing something different from the graduation show at the school, but both shows have textile relations in it, which I'm very happy about. But they are going to tell us about a project they started when they were students at the Radio School of Visual Arts, or Margret started, and then she brought Ragnheiður into the project with her. So welcome, girls. Good to have you here, and we look forward to hear your story about your project.
Thank you. Ragnar, you kind of took the beginning of the presentation from us, but thank you. Yeah, so like she said, we are graduating. I'm graduating from graphic design, and I'm Ragnheiður and Margret from product design. But we met here in the school studying textiles, so we have like a lot in common. And yeah, we both were like fascinated by the weaving technique, and our graduation projects from the School of Visual, or the Reykjavík School of Visual Art, was like connected to weaving. But Margret's graduation project was kind of like the start of our collaboration together.
Yeah, so my project was kind of about this. I wanted to kind of break away from this big weaving loom that we all know, and is also like the weaving loom that we kind of first started to learn on in the school. But I always felt kind of so stuck to this big machine and like stuck in the studio, and I kind of wanted to bring it outside and be able to travel with it, so I could get maybe like the environment more into the weaving. So I started looking into like different types of weaving looms, and I kind of decided to work with two types of these looms. So it's the backstrapped loom and the warp weighted loom, but that is kind of a loom that we in Iceland used to weave on for a very long time. I know like that these are maybe words that are foreign, but it will come in pictures later. So what I did was I went just to the basics of a weaving loom. Like I started to pin down what tools were necessary to make a functional weaving loom. And because I didn't want to be in the studio, I just packed some strings and yarn in a bag, and I just went out. So I started putting up weaving looms in various places around Reykjavík. And the objects that I used to make the loom was just things I found laying around or nearby where I was making them. So the environment really shaped the outcome of each loom. And in the end, I had kind of made a lot of looms, and every single one was kind of influenced by its surroundings. And it really showed that you can make a functional weaving looms out of objects that you would maybe never relate to textiles. Like you can see a climbing belt, and you can also see a hanger that you would maybe never do weaving with. But yeah, they are all these unique characters kind of, and have a background story about how they were made. So some of them were made in the garden, some of them were just on the beach drinking gin and tonics, and some just in the sofa at home. But yeah, I want to maybe go a little bit more into some of these looms. So this is a baby-born swing that I used to play a lot with when I was younger, but it was kind of had lost its role in my life. So it was in the basement and just collecting dust. And I felt really sad that it wasn't in use, but I still couldn't get rid of it or give it to somebody else. So I saw this connection between this swing and also a work-weighted loom, which has these stones that keep the threads straight. But I swapped it with these chains. So in the end, I had kind of gotten this new type of a work-weighted loom and had gotten the swing a new role in my life. Yeah, but another loom I did was really based on this technique of a backstrap loom. And it's a really simple and a nice technique, because what you do is you connect one end to your hips, and then you can connect the other end just to a tree or a lamppost or just anything at home. And I thought it was a really simple and nice technique that was really about what my project really was about. But in these looms, I could really play around with objects that I could work with. And I found out that the basement of my parents' house was a huge help in this project, because they have a lot of stuff that is being unused or had just been forgotten in a pile of things. Yeah, and the last one is this, because when the project evolved, I started going more into these secondhand shops, because there you can find so many things that maybe other owners have kind of given up on. And I saw this old garden chair that had ruined textile inside, and I thought that maybe I could like make a weaving loom out of it, instead of putting just new textiles in it. So it could become like I could make textiles out of the chair. And after a lot of work of figuring out how I could do it, it became a functional weaving chair, and it was just ready to make a lot of textiles for other furnitures. But yeah, this is kind of the start of our collaboration. And when the summer arrived after this graduation, we wanted to continue kind of with these ideas of taking the weaving out of the studio and out of the loom, and try to also use this weaving technique as a way to recycle. And we were kind of had this job working for Reykjavik, the city of Reykjavik, and the goal of the collaboration was very simple. It was just to make the city pretty and to interact with other people in the city. But yeah, being poor students, reusing and recycling was very convenient for us. But it is also very important for the environment, of course. Yeah. So we started to gather all sorts of material in our works. And Iceland, there's a lot of used fishing nets and ropes. So that was a material that was really easy to collect and became a big role in our work. But yeah.
And yeah, like we talked about, we wanted to like interact with people and like make them weave with us and become a part of our work. And it was really fun to like meet new people outside in the city, show them how easy it can be to like recycle using this weaving technique. And at this point, we were like kind of obsessed with this outdoor camping furniture that people had thrown away, and we just found a lot of like chairs, tables, and old stuff. Maybe the fabric was ripped or something, and we just started to like weave straight into these objects with help, like you can see. And yeah, it's a fun approach, because then like the object becomes a weaving loom or a frame, and then it ends up being like a functional product. And if people weren't interested in weaving, they could at least sit down and enjoy the items, like this man over there.
He sat there for a really long time.
Yeah, he sat there for quite some time. Yeah. And yeah, like after the summer, we participated in this exhibition in Reykjanesbæ, which was curated by Ragnheiður. And yeah, it was like 20 designers showcasing artworks and designs, all made from recycled materials. So our items made from these ropes and fishing nets was a great fit in that show. And we held a workshop there where people could try weaving using recycled material like the fishing ropes and nets. And then we had some like unexpected weaving frames like shopping carts and and then just old pictures frames and like found objects. This cute girl was really proud of the work she made at the workshop. But yeah, so it's kind of like an ongoing project for us, because like when you start working on a project like this, you start looking at things in a different way, and it kind of becomes like an obsession, because we can't see an old furniture or a chair anymore without thinking like how we can weave in it or change it into a loom or like make it look better in some way with weaving. So yeah, it truly is an obsession, I think. And yeah, by doing this, we are also like making the items more personal. And yeah, you just start to like love your things more after you have like worked in it with your hands. And yeah, also like our items have made people just like talk about recycling, and I think maybe open the eyes for someone, because we have taken these chairs to a lot of like camping sites and we have actually used them a lot. So yeah, and they're always the most colorful chairs on the camping site, so it's really fun. And yeah, we just want people to see that like recycling with this weaving technique can be really fun, both for kids and adults. And yeah, it just like connects people and makes them do something new maybe at the same time. Yeah, we hope this was fun and colorful. And if you're interested in our works, you can check our Instagram or our websites. And people in Iceland, if you haven't been to the graduation show, you have to go there in Hafnarhúsið. It's really cool. We are doing different works there, but this is like an ongoing side project.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
So much, Ragnheiður and Margret. I think you will have to bring your workshops to New York Textile Month next September.
Yeah, we would love to.
We'll make an event where you are offering people the opportunity to bring their old furniture and create something new out of it.
Yeah,
that would be great.
With nets from Iceland.
Yes. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
We have our next